Yeah, we can get started now.
Okay, thank you, Lalit. Hey, all, thanks so much today for joining over the weekend to Microsoft Purview Days, and it's pleasure to speak. So it's a, as we all know, a one-day virtual event and lots of gifts to uh, collect as well. So please we have QR code as well, and this is a really a nice cause for having a donations for empowering the girl for the education. So okay. So this is fifth session today's, and we are going to discuss the bit PowerShell part for the Microsoft Purview. Before starting, let's have about myself. I'm working as architect at Dapexon, almost 18 year plus experience in IT. And since the last 15 years, I'm working on SharePoint, almost all versions, starting with the first version till 2013, and then started working on the SharePoint Online and Microsoft 365 and Azure. I love to speak. Already spoke in various conferences, online or offline, including SharePoint Saturdays, local chapters, schools, colleges. Recently published a book as well, Microsoft 365 PowerShell Handbook for Administrators and Beginners. So, which includes the introduction to Microsoft 365 PowerShell and sharing some 50 plus scripts in that, which are frequently used. I'm passionate about sharing knowledge. Whatever I learn, I keep sharing. You could see my blog, knowledge-junction.in, almost thousands articles there in that blog, and I'm almost author of the 600 plus articles. So yeah, you could reach me anything, anytime for Microsoft 365 discussing security, administration part of Azure and Microsoft 365 and for the PowerShells. Okay, let's begin. What is the agenda? What we are going to cover? What is Microsoft Purview? Since morning and in both the tracks, we are discussing what is Microsoft Purview. I'll just go through the Microsoft Purview governance portal. Very short introduction. I will do that. Then we'll go through the Azure Purview PowerShell module, and we will have demo. So demo is whatever required to access the Microsoft Purview governance portal. We require a Microsoft Purview account. So how to create Microsoft Purview account from with the help of PowerShell. What are the prerequisites for it? And yeah, and how to access then the governance portal with the account that we are going to demonstrate here. We are going to discuss here, and from UI as well, I will demonstrate how to create the Microsoft Purview account. So what is Microsoft Purview? Before starting, let's have a couple of statistics here, which are from the conducted by the Microsoft. If you see the first statistic in which is conducted into the September 2021 one survey of around 500 decision makers, and in that it is got that nearly almost all 95-50% are concerned about the challenges they face regarding their data protection. So we could understand how critical this the data protection is. We already talked about in last couple of sessions the protections and DLPs and the policies creating to protect our data, the govern our data. Then there is one another survey which decision makers to meet the compliance and data protection needs, and almost 80% had have a different multiple security related products. And most of the organizations or companies have 3 to 4 or more than that kind of products. But this is not useful. It always strain the resources and create a chaos. Okay, this is the product, this is the product, and yeah, so we have this survey around here in Feb 2022, around 200 US compliance decision makers. So there are lots of security governance and the compliance products available in market. But yeah, as we discussed, those strain the resources, those are ineffective way to handle the security. Organizations or even the experts are security experts in the organizations are in confusion state which product to use for what purpose and maintain all those things and the maintainability. So, and most of the time these causes and our audits get failed, the security related and something. And that's why we have Microsoft come up with a unified solution which covers like data governance, data protection surveys, and the compliance and the risk management part as well. And that is the Microsoft Purview. So it's like a suite of it's a solution for our data governance, risk, compliance solution, and help to our organization to govern, protect, and manage our whole entire data estate. So basically, previously there is a former Azure preview, and then we have the Microsoft 365 compliance solution and services. So Microsoft Purview is now the unified solution for both. For the Azure Purview, which is previously we used to have it, and then the Microsoft 365 compliance solutions as well. So what are the benefits having this Microsoft Purview, using the Microsoft Purview in my organization? Like it eases access to all our data security and risk solution. Second thing, we are continuously discussing, this is the unified portal where all like we saw in the previous session as well, which contains all the details on like my compliance related or risk related or data related in one portal. It helps to safeguard and manage our sensitive data, and not only across like it's a not only across like cloud, but for my apps as well, for endpoints as well, for on-premises environment as well. So it's end-to-end data risk and regulatory compliance solution. It manages end-to-end data risk and regulatory compliance. So it empowers our organization to have, to govern, to protect and manage data in a comprehensive way. So this is like Microsoft come with like a very comprehensive good solution to for my data governance or my compliance and risk solutions, which is like a Microsoft Purview. So if we see here, this diagram is a Microsoft courtesy taken, left side diagram is taken from the Microsoft site. So it covers like risk and compliances for my organization's risk compliances, legal security teams. Plus I have the unified data governance solution for my all data consumers, my users who consumes the data, and my data analyticals or data officers and data engineers. So what about this Microsoft Purview? It comes like I have a Microsoft Purview risk and compliance solution, which I could address through, or which I could go through the my Microsoft Purview compliance portal, which is a part of Microsoft 365 suite. And then I have Microsoft Purview Unified Data Governance Solution, where I have data mapping and which governs my whole throughout whole my data estate, which is a portal like Microsoft Purview Governance Portal. So if I show you both, so let me go with first of all, I'll go through the Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal, which is a part of Microsoft 365. So if I want to visit, like I could have the admin to the Microsoft 365. Let me go there. I'm logging to the Microsoft 365 admin center. I'll go to the portal .office.com. Yeah, and if I go to the admin, this is my development environment, and the tenant is knowledge junction 1 dot on Microsoft.com. So that was my tenant. So if I go to there is under the admin center, we have the security, and this security link, which or security blade, which we redirect us to the Microsoft Purview compliance portal. So here on the Microsoft this Microsoft Purview compliance portal, we handle like compliance, and we manages like compliance and the risk management. This is the one portal, and the second portal, which is a part of Azure, which is like here web.purview.azure.com. So this is a Microsoft Purview governance solution portal. So if I need to like handle my governance, like if I'm here, if you see here, I have data catalog related to all my data mapping, data instant, data policies, and all data management. So I need to work on the Microsoft governance portal, which is web.purview.azure.com. And here to access this portal, we need to create the Microsoft Purview account. So how to create those Purview accounts? Let's discuss. So we have this Microsoft governance solution portal. So, and this to create a Microsoft Purview account, we need to log into the Azure. There are some prerequisites. So let's have a slide first. What are kind of prerequisites? Yeah. So to access, we have Microsoft Purview Governance Portal. We need a Microsoft Purview account. And we could create those Microsoft Purview account either through Azure Portal or through PowerShell. But there are certain prerequisites to create a Microsoft Purview account. What are those prerequisites? Basically, we need a Azure subscription. So Microsoft provide a free trial as well for Azure subscription. If you don't have the Azure subscription as pay to go or paid subscription, then we could try it out the free trial as well. Second, we need Azure Active Directory tenant associated with our Azure subscription. Once we have Azure subscription and the tenant available, then we require the role to that Azure subscription, either owner or contributor or administrator of the Azure subscription. So these three, one of three roles we will require to create Azure Microsoft Purview account for accessing the governance Purview governance portal. Once we have, we need to make sure that in our subscription, we are not having a Azure policy in place which prevent the creation and updates of storage account, because this while creating this account, we'll need to have the Microsoft.storage resource provider need to be registered with our subscription. That we'll see how to do that. And then we need to make sure that we have a Azure Purview module, which is az.purview, which is available, which is installed on our machine from where we are going to create the Microsoft Purview account. So that also we will see the commands. Then what are the steps? We need to have to connect to the Azure. So let's me have, I already have, before let me go to the my Azure subscription. So here, please note that I have logged into the Azure subscription with my account like this Sabadra@hotmail.com. Why this kind of different mail ID? Because I already have a couple of my all mail IDs are used to have free trial, and I need to create new one. So I use this kind of thing. So if you notice, this is my free trial subscription Azure. I have logged into the Azure with the account, which is now available as a free trial. And then previously, before our demo, just to have make sure everything is working, I already have created two Purview accounts. One is through portal, which is a knowledge junction, and the second is through the PowerShell, which is a Purview account from the PowerShell, which I have created in the morning. And then we required a resource group. Let me show you the storage account. Yeah. Then we required the resource group as well while creating the Purview account. So so let's start. If I want, let's have like I want to create the Microsoft Purview account through PowerShell. So I have my PowerShell, Windows PowerShell IAC. First of all, I need to like make sure that my Azure Purview module is installed or not. If not, then I'll need to install the Azure Purview module. We could check it out that the Azure Purview module is installed with not with the Get module Azure Purview. So as before demo, I kept this install. So it shows me what is the version of this module name and what are the available commands, exported commands available for me. If not, you could install with the commands like, let me show you command as well. Yeah, install module name Azure Preview and whatever the required version. So that is not necessary. It takes the default version if we install it, but then we could install with Azure install open module Azure Purview, which gives me this module gives me lots of PowerShell command to play with the Azure uh, Azure Purview. You could download this module, you could install, which will get downloaded, or you could have the reference as well. Let me show you that as well. Yes, this is here. So if you just have Azure PowerShell, Azure Purview model is there, and you will get the detail with all the CMDLETs which are available under this Azure Purview model. So basically, for creating a new Azure Purview account, we used to have new Azure Purview account, or we could get as well which are the Azure Purview accounts are available. So I already have installed in this my environment. So, and we could check it out with the get module as well, and it shows that it is successful. So we could check which are the previously created account as well by get Azure Purview account CMDLET. So yeah, let's have. So there are two Azure Purview accounts which are having with my subscription, the current subscription which is showing. One is the Knowledge Junction and is the Purview account. Okay, so in this way to start with the Azure Purview PowerShell, first of all we need Azure Purview module which are there, and then we also need a few prerequisites which we saw that we need a Azure subscription, and in the role the which through which we are going to use this either with a contributor or owner or administrator to the my Azure subscription. So this role is a owner, whatever the current role, current user which I am logged in, that user is a owner for this subscription. Okay. One more prerequisite required here is the resource provider. Resource providers are nothing but the set of REST APIs which manages used to manages for our resources. For and this creating a Microsoft Purview account requires three kind of resource providers to be registered with the subscriptions. So these resource provider, there are some default resource providers as well which come up with the subscription, and then as we use the services, like for if we take an example of Key Vault services, so there is a resource provider called as a Microsoft dot Key Vault resource provider. So this those resource provider we need to be registered with the subscription. So how to do that? So I'm again on say Microsoft Azure homepage. I came up with my subscription. I have a free trial subscription. Now I'm on the subscription homepage. If you notice that this is my subscriptions, and since I have only one subscription, so this is my subscription ID, and I'm on the overview. So if you scroll down the left pane, there is resource providers. If I go here, there are the resource providers. So it will load all the resource providers. So manage identity, security, guest configuration, policy insights. Those are already registered. And then to create a Microsoft Purview account, we need to register the Microsoft Storage Resource Provider, Microsoft.Purview Resource Provider, and Microsoft.Event Resource Provider. If those resource providers are not registered with our subscription, we get an error. What kind of error? I had that an error. I just kept to demonstrate so that if this kind of error comes, we could resolve it soon. So I was running the command. So I was running the PowerShell like connect Azure account and then new Azure Purview account. And then I am getting an error. What kind of error is like this? Sorry, let me go again. Yeah. Before that, there is one more error like new user preview account is not recognized as a name of something. If this kind of this is very simple error. If this kind of error comes, this means that Azure Purview module is not installed in my environment. So I need to, as we saw, we need to have a install hyphen module and az.purview. So we need to install that module. Then next, if so I install and that error went away. The next error, this the resource providers Microsoft Storage and Microsoft Event Hubs are not registered for this subscription. And yeah, we recommend to register Microsoft Policy Insights resource provider as well. But this Microsoft Policy Insights resource provider is by default registered with subscription. So I just need to register the Microsoft Storage and Microsoft Event. And we saw how to register those. We need to go to our subscription page, resource providers, and then we need to select the resource provider which we need to register it. So if I click here on the register, it will start the registering. So in this way I have came here on this portal while executing, and while getting these errors I registered the Microsoft Storage and the Microsoft Purview. this resource provider. And if you know that this resource provider contains some like API versions, this kind of, if the new services is available, added to the REST APIs collection, then the version get changed in this way. So you will see the various properties as well, the in the JSON in which location this is available, and all other properties, locations, and all those things. So this is about the resource provider. For creating a Microsoft Purview account, we will have a prerequisite to register the storage Purview uh, resource provider with our subscription. Okay, that was one thing. Once that is done, we are ready to execute the command called new Azure Purview account. It requires the name of my Purview account. It requires the resource group name, in which resource group I need to add, location, basically, and then other whether it is publicly accessible or not. Before having, let's have to create a new Purview account with PowerShell. I'll like to demonstrate or like to show you from the UI, so that and we'll get an idea. So if I on the my Azure portal, and if you search for the Purview account, Microsoft Purview account here, just click on the Microsoft Purview account. I already have two Purview accounts, and here you have an option to create Microsoft Purview account. So if we create, as we saw the parameter, it is a simple one, only one subscription. I have free trial resource group. I have this kind of resource group, so I could select the resource group, or I could create a new resource group as well. Then I need to give the Microsoft Purview account name, map with your PowerShell command. So this is with the name here I have given. So with which name, account name for the Microsoft Purview account. Okay. And then this manage resource group name, we could give it out. And on the one more just thing, whether this is publicly available or not. And currently, yes, just selected. It's available publicly for all the public IP addresses and the endpoints. So let's have this thing, and we could create from the here, uh, from the UI of the Azure portal for Microsoft Purview account. And once this account is created successfully, we could give the permission to access this account, to access Microsoft Purview governance portal, and then we could use it. We will see it. But before that, I will run the PowerShell once again. So how it works basically. Now there is one important thing which I realize, which I also learned today while executing this PowerShell. See, I have an account. This is my personal account. If you notice this, this is my personal Microsoft account. Okay, and when I'm connecting to the Microsoft Azure with this personal Microsoft account, it won't allow me to connect to the Azure. Let's see. So if I'm running the command connect az account, it will prompt me. So again, this command is getting failed with this okay, let's pick up the account, then I will show use another account. Let me pull my account details. Please note, this is my personal Microsoft account through which I have Azure free subscription, and I am connecting to it. Uh, it connects now, but when I have like get credentials and connect Azure account with specific this tenant and subscription ID using credential, I get and this kind of error. Let me show you that error as well. And that was known issue after research, and then I we have a workaround for that. So let me show you the error first. That is not in PowerShell window. I'll show you. I had copied that error. Yeah, okay. So when I connect it, it's like unable to acquire token for tenant for such organization with such error, and error is ROPC does not support MSA accounts. And yeah, for that, there we need after bit research, it found that this is a known issue. Most of the time, Connect AZ account doesn't work with your personal Microsoft account to connect to the Azure. And then there we need to have a workaround. To workaround is we need to add our organization account to the subscription. And how to do that? Just quickly, I'm going to the my subscription security. No, security. There is some IAM for my subscription. Access control. Add role assignment. You need to select the role, and as we discussed, to create the Microsoft Purview account, we either need owner, contributor, or administrator for this subscription. So if I'm selecting owner, members, select members. I already have added, this is knowledge junction 1 dot on microsoft.com. This is my Microsoft 365 tenant, and I already have added this user as a owner to this subscription. And then I connect uh, to the Azure through PowerShell with this account to create the Microsoft Purview account. Okay, so this sometime happens, this personal account or your Microsoft personal account, which is not the organization account, won't work. So we have in this workaround for this. Okay, let's move it. So I'm going to execute these commands. Yeah, I'll just change this name because this is already available. So I'll just add Purview 2020-30 account from PowerShell. So it will ask me the connections, and as I said, as I mentioned, I'll use my organization account, which I already added to the subscription. Let's see what happens. So we already have the registered resource provider, storage, and the Purview. That prerequisite is there. This organization account is a owner to my subscription. That prerequisite is there. PowerShell module for Azure Purview is installed. We already checked by executing the command like get Azure Purview accounts. It takes a bit. It takes a minute or something to create new Azure Purview account. So we have all prerequisites in place, and yeah, we are using this PowerShell. So as we discussed, we have two options to create the Microsoft Purview accounts, either through UI or through PowerShell. There are some best practices are also available, which Microsoft suggests, like try to have a less minimum number of Purview accounts so that those will be maintained or managed effectively to access the governance solution. And there will be then the limited number of admins on the Microsoft Purview governance portal. Before it creates, sorry, till the time it creates, let's move. I'll go to the governance portal. How once this is ready, let me go to the this my one of the Purview account which is created previously. Once I use this, let me have another account as well, Purview PowerShell account. Okay, here one option comes visit to the like Purview governance portal. Since I already have visited with these accounts, if you see this governance portal, which is already have this catalog name and all those things, we already have access it. So otherwise, one more box comes here to use it. There is a link called manage users, grant user access to open Purview governance portal and all those. Yeah, if you notice this now, open Microsoft Purview governance portal, manage user, grant user access to open Microsoft Purview governance portal and documentation. So before moving that, I'll just like to check it is still working. These commands, new Azure Purview account, it is still working. But then this is my previously created Microsoft Purview account. Here we could visit the governance portal. Let's see. Notice the URL here, a resource. This is the name of my Microsoft Purview account. Okay. Notice this URL and then I'm redirected to. Now I have two accounts, and if I want to access with another account, let's go back and let's have that name, this one. So I'll just change the URL. Let's see what happens. You will see something doesn't get copied. You need to permission to access this governance portal. So here, the account which has the permission, we need to go and manage users. So, and we need to allow it. So let's see again here, manage users. Yeah, before that, see this PowerShell get executed successfully. And we have this account subscription tenant. And this is, let me show you Purview account. If you see the name, friendly name, Purview 2023 account from PowerShell. So this Purview account is getting created, and you have all the other properties here, including name and endpoint connection, whether the provision happen or not, what is the school name, and all the details. So this is a kind of user and who created and who modified this user. All the details you will see. This new AZ Purview account PowerShell returns. So this is the way to create the Purview account with the help of PowerShell. Now, if I go to the my subscription, let me go to the my Azure portal. Again, I'm going to the home. Let me select my subscription, or let me search for the Purview accounts here. See this Purview 2023 account from PowerShell, which account which we recently created. Though it's still showing in the status in progress here on the UI, but we have uh, in the PowerShell, we have this executed successfully. So it is going to be a Microsoft Purview account creation successfully. Okay. Now what we were seeing here, manage users, role assignments. Let me find the user. If you notice this, there are the different these roles available. Collection admin, which is the which user we have created. Then the data source admin, data curators, data readers who could only read the um, data source admin who could add the different data sources by creating a collection here, so that they could map their data. They could have the audit logs for their data, insights with the their data. So if I go to here and if I add the collection admin, I click on the plus button. So I have these two, both the users are there available. So let's select which we created recently, Purview 2013. Okay. So now this is the this user is as well the collection admin. If I now go to this user again. Let me go to the my subscription. Or simple, I'll go and change the URL as well directly. Microsoft Purview accounts. Yeah, this since this is still in progress, we don't have that link, but we could try it out directly from the governance portal by changing here. So let me try it out once. And we already added this user as a collection admin, but still it's showing in progress. It may take a couple of minutes or to have effect on that. Okay, all right. So this is the way to start for the Microsoft Preview. If we have the throughout my data governance lifecycle, and I need to have like mapping of the my data and all audit logs and insights and creating the data policies. So how basically the first thing we required the Microsoft Purview account. So that was the discussion point for this session, that how to create the Microsoft Purview accounts, what is Microsoft Purview accounts, and what how to create either through from portal and the permission, and what kind of different roles, like we saw the collection admins, data curators, data readers, data source admins. We could provide to these different accounts, and we could have in the all manage my all my data governance life cycle throughout this Purview data governance portal. All right. Any questions or any
Uh,
thoughts, any inputs?
just one thing from my side, that we got another 3 more minutes. If we can open up for the questions from the audience and see if they have anything, or you have anything to cover, we can quickly wrap up.
We are good, Lalit.
Okay. So guys, do you have any question? Probably you can refer in the chat. If you can give us an example of how to scale out or scale up the Microsoft Purview governance portal, I will